What's up, guys? Fens the Spook back at you after a little while, huh? Well, I'm sorry for the hiatus, as usual. I think every video I have starts that way. Sorry it's been so long. I got a little call to action from a buddy of mine. He tagged me in a comic response video, so I'll be putting one of those up here shortly. Kind of prompted me to get some videos, get some content on this goddamn channel, right? Excuse me there, but, it's kind of pathetic, man. This channel was set up and I've kind of let it waste, so shame on me. Hopefully I brought something cool to the table tonight, something you're going to enjoy. Filming with a new camera, so let me know if you think this is better or worse. It should be about the same, but we'll see how it goes. So what we have here tonight, friends, boils and ghouls, as they say, right? Tales from the Crypt. This is a reprint set of 30 covers from the 1950s horror comics from EC. These are, again, from the 90s, the Russ Cochran reprints. I think maybe also the Gladstone reprints, they're also called. And these are actually the first times I found EC comics as a kid. I was in Albertsons. My dad would just buy me these EC comics off the racks, and they were the Russ Cochran reprints, and kind of how I got into horror comics in general. So very dear to me. And when I found this in a local store, so again, what this is, sorry, I'm not actually sure that I've said it. It's a 30 color or 30 count full color cover reprint set. And I found this at a local comic store, and the price was just laughably low. Again, I don't really like to say prices on here and all that kind of stuff. But just well below what I personally valued this at, if you get what I'm saying. So it worked out for everybody. So I'll show you these. I don't know, how many we'll get through before time's up. I gotta keep an eye on that 15-minute clock. But let's see here. I'll pull out a couple and we'll just go one by one. Give you something cool to look at there in the meantime. Stir that up there, maybe. We'll talk about those comics there in a different video I've got planned. Hopefully, over the next couple of days, I'll release 2 or 3 videos, and we can kind of go through them all. Oh boy, this is going to be super precarious, I can tell right now. Okay, so there we go. That's the envelope, was what you were looking at a minute ago. So these are the reprints themselves. They just beg to be framed, I know, but the problem is not only are there 30 of them, so even in the cheapest frame, I mean, you got to be talking like $150 absolute bottom line to get these all framed. I think you're talking a lot more than that. The other problem is they're all kind of wonky sizes. They're not cut properly. I don't know what's up with that, but a lot of them are different sizes. Like, just by a couple millimeters or something than the others. They're not uniform. So no idea what's going on with that, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. Again, like I said, the price on these was just ridiculous. So here we have the cover from Tales from the Crypt 46. These are all Tales from the Crypt. I should have mentioned that. Probably my least favorite of the 3 EC horror titles. And when I say least favorite, I mean it's still one of my favorite titles of all time. The Jack Davis stuff is just out of control. I'm more of a Haunt to Fear kind of guy, but hey, I didn't even know they made these kind of things. So here I have the Tales from the Crypt set. Now I'll just go after the Vault, go after the Haunt set, and, maybe I'll just plaster my room in these things one day. But anyway, so that's a cool one. We'll kind of move through these fairly quickly because they are just cover reprints. Oh, actually, no, they are a little bit more, which is kind of a neat thing, too. On the back, it has a little bit of, I think what you'd call, I guess it's the indicia of the Golden Age books themselves. So this was on the inside front cover of all these of this. I guess this is maybe the last issue of Tales from the Crypt. I'm not an EC scholar, so I actually don't know, but I see a lot of beginning and end dates up there from when the Comics Code brought EC to its knees. So I don't know if you guys can read that, but it says in memoriam. Let me bring it closer. Here we go. In Memoriam, Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, Haunt to Fear. So this might be the final issue before they shut down. I'm not really sure, but anyway, so it's not just a cover reprint. It's also the inside page with the indicia from the book. So that's that much cooler, you know what I mean? So anyway, there's number 46. Here's Tales from the Crypt 32. One of my favorite stories. I love this story with the elephant. Basically an elephant ends up crushing a girl's head in the circus. It's just one of the craziest morbid things they could pull in a comic. I absolutely love this one. So you can see kind of what I mean about the miscut. You can see the other one behind this one. This one's shorter than the one I just showed you. So real cool. Tales from the Crypt number 32. Love that cover. Tales from the Crypt 44. You know, again, so far these have all been Jack Davis covers. I'm just making sure. This one's pretty cool. Again, Jack Davis is almost a little too, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like animated looking. Like a lot of his stuff reminds me of Mad, which is I think the first time that's kind of what I associate Jack Davis with is Mad. So to see him in Tales from the Crypt, I always kind of felt like Jack Davis's stuff was a little too animated, a little too silly, but this cover here, I just really like it. Like the guy's head's getting cut off, and you know the body's jerking up in response, and all the faces in the crowd really just nail this one for me. So Tales from the Crypt 44, really, really good Jack Davis cover. These are not in order, by the way. I probably should have put them in order, but I didn't. Tales from the Crypt 31, another Jack Davis. These might all be Jack Davis, so just to throw that out there. Pretty cool. I don't know. Not my favorite one. I like the faces. I think Jack Davis's strong point is faces for sure. I would have liked to see a little more grizzle on this cover. You know, maybe the guy's head rolling into the basket or something, but it's still pretty cool. Pretty intense. Tales from the Crypt 30. I actually got to watch the time here. Hold on one second, guys. Let me check my clock. All right, we are good. All right, so Tales from the Crypt 30. Sorry about that. In the previous video, I straight ran up against the clock. Video ended. Never even finished the video. It's a total disgrace, so I apologize if you saw that. This is an interesting one. You got I don't know, some kind of mining guy sitting at the bottom of the lake, and I don't know. This is what I mean. This one just, I don't like it. Again, when I say I don't like it for an EC cover. I mean, it's still better than 90% of other comic covers. Another one that I'm not crazy about. Just I don't really find this one to be all that scary. It's a little too just cartoony or something. I don't know, but again, like I said, when I critique this kind of stuff, it's relative to the other covers. It's if you said what do I find better, Jack Davis Tales from the Crypt or like pretty much anything modern. I mean, this wouldn't even be a contest. Modern, bronze, silver. I don't know. The EC covers pretty much take the cake. So when I rank him third amongst my EC favorite artists, that's not really insulting at all. This one I think is Feldstein. I don't think this one's Jack Davis. I think this one's Feldstein. He didn't sign it, or I don't see the signature, so it's a little tough to be sure. But kind of a creepy one, man. Just all that weight of that earth. The coffin cover's not moving. You're not getting a breath. So, I don't know, man. These Buried Alive covers, they just do it for me, right? So Tales from the Crypt 28. Let's move a little quicker, Steven. All right. So here we go. Tales from the Crypt number 27. Nothing great here. Wally Wood cover, but as I've told you in other videos, Wally Wood is one I just never really developed an eye for. I don't dislike Wally Wood or anything. It's certainly not what I'm saying. I don't know. They just never called to me. If that means anything to you, the Wally Wood stuff, it's amazing classic stuff. I'd love to own some of it, but just, I don't know. It's definitely not my favorite of the EC artist for the horror. He's a lot better, I think, on the fantasy and sci-fi. This one's pretty cool, though. I just sitting here saying how I don't really like Wally Wood, but I really like this cover. I like the kind of preacher there. Tales from the Crypt 26. But again, I don't really think of Wally Wood as like a horror artist so much. I mean, I know he did a lot. It's not like that's not really true. It's just not, in my opinion, an EC horror artist that I kind of think about a lot. It's more Feldstein, Jack Davis, Johnny Craig, Graham Ingalls, these kind of guys. So another Feldstein cover. A weird one. This one is super weird. Tales from the Crypt 25. Little waxwork cover if you're into that kind of stuff. Tales from the Crypt 24. This cover is the one when I was a kid that just really got me going, man. Like just some creep, some dead ghoul with a, blue rotting eye. Just half his face is just like rotting in, just grabs you and takes you into the quicksand, like, I don't know, man. This is like one of my top 5 EC covers ever. I love this cover. Quicksand was something that really like freaked me out as a kid too. Anytime I saw a quicksand or someone die in quicksand in a movie as a kid, it always really left an impact. So I think that may be also why this one was special to me, but I really like this one, Tales from the Crypt 24. And right after it is another one of my top 5. My friend, a buddy of mine who's into the horror stuff too, he didn't really find this one to be that great, but I think when I was a kid, this one scared me a little bit, because on the inside cover of the reprints, you could always see, like, the covers of the ones you could order and the back issues and stuff. And this one always just gave me the chills. I mean, you got to remember, I'm ballparking here, but I think I'm like 8, 9, 10 when I was reading these. So, stuff that I just think is cool now, like, scared the crap out of me as a kid. So another one of my favorite covers, Tales from the Crypt 23. Tales from the Crypt 22. I kind of like the little sidebar they have over here, the little, the font jumping out at you here. I kind of like that a little bit better, to be honest with you, than the classic circles. But, that's sacrilege, right? Cool Feldstein cover here. Just your basic corpse. Kind of looks like an ape, to be honest. Maybe that's the intention. I don't know. Now we're kind of going back. I think these might be going older. Might be going back in time here. Maybe they are in order. Anyway, Tales from the Crypt 21. The older covers aren't really that crazy. They kind of get crazier as the interiors, I think, maybe soften because of the pressure from the comics code. But the Feldstein cover here and it's almost like more one of the shocking suspense covers here than a horror cover so much. But, it's an early Tales from the Crypt for sure. All of these are early ones. Little Johnny Craig. I like Johnny Craig's. Johnny Craig stuff is weird, man. His faces are very strange. So, yeah, again, it's not, again, these aren't, I don't know, these early Tales covers are almost more, like I said, suspense and shock stuff than they are horror. I mean, I guess it's a gravestone, but not so much the monsters and the ghouls you expect from the later stuff. It's kind of cool to go in reverse order, though, isn't it? You see the stuff that we all kind of think about as the classic Tales from the Crypt covers, and then as we go back, you even see the title here, The Crypt of Terror. I like this one. This one's pretty cool. Got the kind of female zombie coming in the door there. I like the color tones on this, the kind of the pale greens and stuff. It looks real cool. Crypt of Terror 19. I gotta hurry, man. We're not gonna make this in time. All right, I'm gonna speed through these last few. Here's a cool Johnny. This is what I mean about I like Johnny Craig's faces. It's this guy's face that I really dig, like the weird butt chin, and the real elongated, just gaunt face. That's so Johnny Craig, as they say, right? So, and again, cool pink color going on up there. Tales from the Crypt 18. This is what I meant when I said I don't really sometimes like Jack Davis's covers. It's so much. I know this is like a classic cover. This is like the origin of the Old Witch, and it's really cool. That mummy face is sick, and then you got the two-headed guy Enoch over there, but it's kind of silly. And I don't know. Save it for Mad, save the silly stuff for Mad. I just prefer the more serious covers. But this is kind of a, iconic Tales from the Crypt cover there. I think you guys have seen this one. I actually own this one, the real one, Tales from the Crypt 34, the Frankenstein cover. Again, like I said, I got to kind of move because I dawdled earlier, so we got to kind of zip through these. But I actually have this one. Check out my EC video. You can see my copy. It's probably one of the nicer ones I own. Tales from the Crypt 35, pretty cool werewolf cover. Werewolves used to be a big thing for me when I was a kid. Not so much anymore, but, they're cool. All right, so I got about a minute and a half. We're going to have to move. Tales from the Crypt 36, Vampire Taxi. Pretty cool, featuring the Graham Ingalls Old Witch. Always love that. Tales from the Crypt 37. I like this one. Good Jack Davis cover. Nice missing piece of the skull. I like that. It's a nice touch against the moonlight. You know me. I'm a fan of the moon silhouettes, so that's a good one. Tales from the Crypt 37. If we run out of time, guys, I'll try to squeeze these in. Oh, nope. You know what? We're out of time. I'm just going to have to finish these up in another video. All right, so we'll just make a quick one to finish these up. That way I can kind of take my time through the last 10 or 12 or however many are left. Thanks for sticking in there, guys. Give me the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Give me a comment if you want to chat about something you saw or you want to do a request. And like I said, I got a comic book shout-out kind of tag thing I got to do about a Batman moment that I like. And you know how much I love Batman. So that'll be coming up as well. Thanks, guys. See ya.